Go. Hi YouTube. Welcome to the final of the Moo Memorial Cup, which was the league I tried to try hard in and then failed miserably with my Pro Elf team. Me and IB, say hi IB.
Hi, IB.
Good. I'm going to cast the final, which is between ASadPandas, more Walrus, more like Loser, and Thegrants Scurry Up offense. We've seen... I kind of want to say that we've seen both of these coaches in finals and semifinals before, so we probably have. ASadPanda has a Dark Elf team, whereas Thegrant has a Skaven team, and we're going to try and go through them a bit once we get in game. Higher, since this was a longer league, the team value is slightly higher in both of these teams, and it's fun to see two not as bashy teams but more fast, agile teams being in the final, because this should be a good game. Are you ready to resume?
I am.
I think I'm gonna be slightly behind you because I paused earlier, but I'm gonna do a countdown and we'll see where we're at. So 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, I'm 58, 57, 56,
yep.
55. Good. Okay, let's get into this.
First thing I noticed was the rats have more players.
That is, let's go over the rats then, because I have them up. That's true. The rats actually have 14 players in total, and a total team value of 168. Both of the Storm Vermins, let's see if I can find them. I'm going to switch over to Storm Vermins. So press Hoverage, Mighty Blow, Block Piling On, that's scary, and the other one, Mighty Blow, Block Guard. Both bashy, so pretty bashy starting out. 2 throwers, which is kind of likely. Block Pass on one of them, and there's the other one. Block Tackle. Move busted though, still around. And 4 freaking Gutter Runners. So Dodge, Sidestep, Wrestle, Catch, Block, Diving Tackle, Sidestep. What do we have here? Sprint, Block, Sidestep, and the last one is probably around here somewhere. But not on the pitch right now. Yeah. But that Gutter Runner doesn't have any skills but for this game. No SPP, I would assume. And then some linemen. We only care about 13 and 14 because they actually have skill ups. Let's see if there are... Yeah, so we have one of the 14 here. It's got Guard, and let's see. And 13 has Tackle, Wrestle. So that's a pretty good start. And then a bunch of extra lineman scruff. On ASadPandas team, we have less players. A total of, let's see, 11. But still a team value of 1650, so only 30 less. Meaning he has a lot higher, well... His players are more expensive, so there should also be more team value on them. 4 Blitzers, of course, 1 Runner, 2 Witch Elves, 1 Assassin, and only 3 Linemen. However, 1 Lineman plus Strength minus Agility, which is this guy here. Also got Wrestle. And then a Lineman with Block, and the last one has Wrestle. So skills on all the Linemen. The Assassin, Dodge, Block, and 2 Witch Elves. Let's see what they have. Block and Block. So blodge on both of them. So they're hard to knock down. Especially considering I don't think any of the Storm Vermin had Tackle.
No.
Starting out with a Quick Snap. So Storm Vermins, if they manage to knock them down, that's going to hurt. But they only get knocked down on a POW. The Blitzers, on the other hand, some of them have a lot of levels. But we got a Strip, a Blodge guy, which the Throwers don't care that much about. A Blodge, Sidestep, Tackle, another, well, actually, was there 2 Strip Bowlers?
3?
Yes, there was.
2 Strip Bowlers.
Yeah, and 1 with nothing. Oh, and a Stab starting out. That's ballsy, especially considering this is Surf territory now for this Assassin. So that's bold. But then again, if you're going to have an Assassin, you kind of want to stab the armor value 7 pieces, which seems to be working out just fine. Well, actually... the opposite of that. This runner here, though, Blodge, Sure Hands, seems to be the ball carrier. Currently, of course, the Witch Elf has it. But, so it's a pretty... I'm not going to say average Dark Elf team, but it's a Dark Elf team that has, for the most part, gotten normal skill ups, and then this is kind of what you end up with. The Assassin is fun for a bit of extra flavor, and the fact that there aren't that many linemen means that basically every player is valuable, so we're probably not going to see any fouls from the Dark Elves. The Rats, because there are so many more of them, they kind of, to me, look a bit scary. We'll see how well they manage to control the Dark Elves when we go into their turn. Now that you've had a chance to... Oh, okay. So ASadPanda has pointed out in chat that he put in money for a wizard and a babe, while he has a bribe Apo and a babe. So they both put it. Well, so there's money on this. In this, rather.
Well, it's the final. You might as well go all out.
Yeah. That is actually smart and should actually impact this game quite a lot. Wizard Apple Babe should mean that the fewer Dark Elf players stay in longer, even though, oh, well, I guess we might not see Surf. Probably will, though. And then...
We're definitely seeing a Surf there.
Yeah, I would say so. And the Grant managed to get a... let's see. He managed to get a bribe Apo and a babe. So basically everyone's staying in. But the Grant is going to be fouling, which should be fun. I mean, they're rats, after all. It should be noted that it's very sunny, so it's harder to pass. But I don't think either team is going to be passing anytime soon, and the Skaven usually don't need to, because the runners are so fast, and, well, Witch Elves and stuff. So, having looked over the teams, what do you think of the Skaven team, IB?
I think...
I mean, having 14 pieces is, I would say that that's kind of exotic.
Exotic?
Well, it's not something you see that often. It's very like... my guys are going to get knocked out. I want spares. Like, having 14 pieces kinda says that, well, I expect 3 of them to get knocked out.
I'd say unusual, but exotic is probably not the word I'd use.
And, well, that's a skull on the Assassin, so no Surf. And we got a push, both down. Electing to use the push here instead because the Walrus here does have wrestle.
That is a lot of rerolls that have gone already.
That's true. That is very true. Already down to, well, they've all used rerolls in all of their turns so far. In theory, I would say that the Dark Elves are better at not having any rerolls because they have more skills on their pieces, and all of them have higher agility. This is a kind of a... I'm not sure why we saw this splits here with the Witch Elf, because this is a Blodge Witch Elf going up against a Blodge sidestepping Gutter Runner. I think the scariest bit is actually the fact that this Gutter Runner has Diving Tackle, which isn't... Against a Witch Elf with Dodge, that's not super scary, but it does mean you might have to, like, if you roll low, you're gonna have a problem.
I think the reason was because the Witch Elf got 2 blocks and his Tackle Blitzer is tied up on the right hand side.
Yeah.
Because I would be definitely using that Tackle Blitzer a lot more, but he is surrounded.
Yeah. So, yeah, so this is a pretty... All things considered, like, because of this Gutter Runner here, this is a pretty, like, open cage still. Now, the Gutter Runner, of course, is going to have a problem knocking down this Witch Elf. But there's a Storm Vermin up here, there's a Lineman. It's... Like, the ball is pretty safe, but this Gutter Runner here is annoying because it means that both the Witch Elf and the Runner here is kind of stuck at the moment. I don't think ASadPanda wants to move them if he can help it. But at the same time, he probably wants to move the cage down pretty quickly. Also, considering the way the rats have been spaced, they are fast, but it'll be interesting to see how many... Oh! And the assassin rolled the famous... well, he didn't... Let's see. Yeah, you do have dodge, so... You failed a dodge at some point? Well, actually, no. Probably tackle.
Tackle.
Yeah, tackle on lead walker here, meaning the assassin fell down. But yeah, so Dark Elves are really spaced out here. Lots of tackle zones, making it hard for the Skavens to get in and get close to the ball. But at the same time, at least the Gutter Runners are really fast, and most of them have dodge, wrestle, or dodge block and sidestep, which means, well, that's annoying, is what that means. And oh, that's a KO on the unskilled Blitzer. So that's really unfortunate for ASadPanda.
Blitz on that Witch Elf now.
I would assume so. I mean, if they remove Walrus here, the plus strength lineman, which is going to be, it's going to be difficult. Actually, it's going to be, well, they can knock him back. They can do a one-die block if they get rid of this lineman up here. And then they have a straight path. Otherwise, this lineman, the plus strength lineman and the Blitzer straight below it, number 1, they have tackle zones here, making it hard for the rats to get inside. They could, of course, try and go for the Gutter Runner and just dodge out and then run around, and that would be a one-die block. But that's a one-die block and a blodge Witch Elf. It might be the play, because there might not be anything better to do.
Looks like he wants to hit that Blitzer out of the way instead of the lineman.
Yeah. Possibly thinking that... Well, it's looking at the... Oh, and that's an attacker down. Rerolled into defender stumbles, both down, knocking the Blitzer down. And this is the tackle wrestle pace.
Getting on the ball carrier.
Yeah, so that's really important. And the main reason that's important is because if the Dark Elves can't fix this, then the Witch Elves can't really go anywhere, because to her left there's a diving tackle Gutter Runner, and she can't go up because there are tackle zones and she's standing next to a tackle piece, so it's dangerous to dodge out. One of the best options here might actually be do a handoff to the runner and just run in and score. Well,
that's probably
KOing the Gutter Runner definitely helped out there. That was probably the best result they could have gotten. Let's see, can this runner get in? Should be able to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. With a going for it, that should be fine. And that's
he doesn't even have to score. He can just run down there and he's got dump off.
Yeah, but he doesn't have anyone in range for dump off to be used. Remember, you can only dump off 3 squares away. So he'd then have to... He'd have to use the runner first to get down, and then use the Witch Elf to hand off, which is going to be trickier. And it's also very sunny, making it slightly harder to pass. So, considering there's actually a KO'd Blitzer here and a Babe, I would probably, yeah, done the handoff, and here we go. And made it in. So that's a quick touchdown, and that's really, I like seeing that, because when we usually cast finals or semi-finals, people like, I know I'm
defensively.
Yeah, you play defensively. If you can stall, you kind of want to stall because you don't want to give away too many turns to your opponent. But scoring quickly in this case, I think is fine, because the rats are going to be able to score quickly too. But if they fail to hold on to the ball, or if a Gutter Runner is holding on to the ball, ASadPanda has 2 Blitzers with strip ball that can just get rid of the ball, have someone else pick it up, and then throw it somewhere he doesn't have a bashy Dark Elf team, but he has a pretty aggressive team when it comes to stealing the ball. And if you're Elves, you kind of want to steal the ball if you can.
A wizard helps with that.
That's true. There's a wizard on ASadPandas side, which the Grant and the Skavens doesn't have, of course, because they had slightly higher team value. So when ASadPanda put money in, the Grant didn't get as much, so he couldn't buy the same things.
Which would you prefer, a wizard or 3 line rats?
Ooh, of course, that depends on how many players I have before I buy the wizard. But if I have 11 players, I mean, it's difficult. It also depends on who you're going up against. Against Dark Elves, I would have gone for the wizard, because Lightning Bolt is such a strong play.
You say that, but then you roll a 1 and you're like,
yeah,
oh.
no, I mean, of course, if you roll a 1, it sucks because you don't have a reroll. But it's essentially a 2+ roll to knock the ball loose. And if you're as fast and agile and have this many gutter runners, you can do things with that. It essentially means that, and that, well, it's not going to be the case why ASadPanda scored straight away, but we might actually not see the Grant stalling, because he might not feel that he can because of that wizard. And that's really powerful too.
I think the threat of the wizard is sometimes greater than the actual wizard itself.
I would agree with that. Okay. Oh, and that's a really deep kick. Let's see, the thrower should be able to pretty easily pick it up. But of course there's a threat here as well. If he fails to pick it up, it might scatter out and then could actually, because of where it's positioned, could end up on the other side of the pitch. That's probably not going to happen though.
No, the thrower has sure hands. That can't possibly fail. It's the best skill in the game, apparently.
I don't think you can dump off to the ground in this, but I'm not 100% sure.
I think you can.
You think you can?
Yes.
Someone should look at the rules.
Well,
tell us.
Why would you look at the rules? You need to look at the cyanide rules. That's completely different to the rules.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it makes sense that you would be able to dump off to the ground, but that doesn't mean you're allowed to in Chaos Edition.
I seem to recall dumping off to the ground before when I was playing.
Yeah. No, thinking of it, I would actually be more surprised if you weren't allowed to. ASadPanda has a pretty interesting setup here. Well, it's interesting because these two are switched. I find it interesting.
What do you think of standing next to the assassin?
Huh?
Yeah,
oh, well, that's pretty ballsy. I'm not sure why he followed up. It might also be he followed up because he didn't want the assassin to go anywhere. But basically, by parking himself next to the assassin, it means he's not going anywhere, because the assassin has shadowing, which against most, like, Skaven are fast. They 7 and up. But this thrower is actually only movement 6. Oh, and that's a critical failure on the pass, rerolled into apparently a perfect... No, it's a critical failure on the catch. And then we...
He didn't waste his final reroll.
Yeah, and I think that's a good choice, not wasting that. Because, well, the Dark Elves can't actually get down there. And you can see straight away the thrower gets punished for standing next to the assassin. Stab, and then a stun.
Now, this is a situation I've been in many times, and I always fall into this trap of overcommitting, trying to push forward to get the ball.
Yeah.
And then not leaving enough defense, and then they just run straight through.
Yeah. I tend to do the same thing. Like, I'm like, oh, it's so good to have someone just trying to threaten the ball, and then you're like, whoops, now there's no one in the back. So it's going to be interesting to see how how many pieces ASadPanda is going to commit here? Well, he runs one blitzer forward. This is...
Solid defense.
He did decide to run the unskilled blitzer forward. I thought he might possibly run one of the strip bowlers forward. Maybe they were kind of not in the same position here.
Maybe he's just thinking that blitz is more dispensable, so he can put him getting surrounded.
That's true, but at the same time, strip ball down here means that a gutter runner can't hold the ball. Because then the blitzer would just blitz the gutter runner 2 dice and choose a push, and the ball would be loose. So it means that this thrower is going to have to hold on to the ball.
And he does have 2 strip balls. I mean, if he had one, you could probably understand it more that he wants it there as a safety. But I guess 2, possibly. It might have just been that they weren't in a position to dodge through and get as close.
Yeah, that's actually fair question in stream chat, asking the Grant if he ever had a rat ogre on the team, because of course that's the Skaven's big guy. Dark Elves don't have access to a big guy, but a lot of people enjoy the rat ogre, like having some extra strength on the LOS. Is fine, but at the same time, that is a lot of team value, and we can see that the Grant instead has like 14 players. Oh, and here we go. A guard from Field Stroll, and then a tackle wrestle lineman. Trying to, well, knocking down this strip ball blodge blitzer.
What time are you at?
I'm at 02:41.
Okay.
40,
I
39.
apparently am way ahead of you.
Wow. Well then, tell me where you're at now.
I'm at 34.
Well, I'm at 34 now. 33.
Apparently
31,
mine just runs a lot faster
30.
than yours.
Yeah, 29, 28, 27.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Like, the weirdest thing when you're doing this and you have to match up the time is I'm like, did I accidentally, like, slow down time? And you look at the seconds and you're like, that second went way faster than the last one. And that was a really long second.
I feel like the game just runs at a different speed.
Yeah, probably does.
Back to the game.
Yes!
Got a nice hole here on the on the left.
And apparently the Grant has answered in stream chat. He did have a rat ogre at one point. But his strategy all along was not to rebuy when the Rat Ogre died. Which is kind of a sound strategy in a way, because the Rat Ogre is scary early on when there aren't that many skills on other pieces. While the Rat Ogre can still fuck up, that's really scary. But then if the Rat Ogre doesn't level up, it's less amazing. And if you just get rid of the Rat Ogre... Oh, here comes the... Whoa.
Oh dear, he forgot.
Well, he was like no injury though, so that's good. But if he manages to knock this guy down, both down push, that's not. Is that good enough? Is it? Yeah, this is a wrestle piece. There we go, and a blitzer here in the back. Holy crap! This could be 2-0 on turn 5.
Can he actually throw it without the gutter runner getting a possible interception?
Yes, he can if he just runs down. If he dodges through the Storm Vermin's grasp. I mean, tackle zones. Do I not have... Oh, right. There aren't any tackle zones because we're just...
observing.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Witch Elf, number 13, can pick it up. And then... Well, also that way, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't think... This shouldn't be an intercept. And it's no longer very sunny. Oh, a GFI. Short pass. Very nice.
And... that is 2-0.
That is 2-0. However, this... There is a possible way for the Grant to actually to come back from this, because if he now manages to score and ends the half 2-1, he's going to receive first in the second half, so he can then tie it up at 2-2 with a quick touchdown, and then the game's wide open again.
Pretty much. Let's see how well the Elves defend.
Yeah, but that was an excellent use of the fireball. I usually prefer the lightning bolt, but if you get 5 of them, one of them bound to go down, hopefully, possibly. So that's really fun. It's really fun to see early aggression like this, where you just like, no, I'm gonna get the touchdowns in because I want to win. Seeing the opening and then using it. And I don't think like the Grant hasn't been playing badly or anything, or been unlucky. It's just that either because like I would have been in the mindset that he's gonna use the lightning bolt, so I need to have some people around, so that if that happens, then I can stop that. So there'll still be some tackle zones, and then we get to see the fireball instead. And you're like, oh right, there's a fireball too. Oh, howdy Thursday, how you doing? Okay, defender stumbles attacker down on the LOS. That's good enough.
I think she heard there were rats about.
She could. She really wants to get to my tea now, which I'm not enjoying. Because I enjoy drinking my tea. Okay. Push defender down. Well, actually. Yeah, that's a wrestle piece, so. Yeah, but I also, like, being able to go up to nothing is, not only is it, of course, it's really good, but it has some added benefits other than just the lead, because it means that Skaven actually kind of needs to score quickly.
Pressure.
Yeah, you put a lot of pressure on, and Skaven are good at scoring quickly, but there are some scary storm vermins here. If Skaven manage to get control of the ball and then put a nice cage or a stall, then the storm vermins could probably do some extra damage, especially against a team with only 11 players. So
that storm vermin next to the assassin, I don't know about that.
Well,
I mean, he's got armor 8, but
well, I don't think this is bad. I think this is a pretty smart move, because he's got armor 8. But that means that if the armor 8 fails, which it's more likely to fail than succeed, or rather, the assassin is more likely to fail with a stab than succeed. If he stabs, the assassin's not going anywhere, and it's still a armor value 7 piece against a mighty blow block guard. Man, there's a block tackle piece next to him. Actually, the assassin's probably gonna stab the thrower, come to think of it. But yeah, I don't think that's too horrible, because I think like that's scary for the assassin too. I mean, the assassin kind of want to, if possible, just go stabbing gutter runners all day long. The Grant says in chat that he didn't want the threat of the wizard to make me do stupid things, but he took the idea too far. Yeah, so like, yeah, so gutter runner, yeah, I mean not gutter runner, wizard, really good pickup in a final. Okay, so turn 7.
Stab on the storm vermin.
Oh, yep, stab on the storm vermin. You're still slightly ahead of me. So you need to pause for a second or two. But yeah, I'm not sure. Here's the thing. If the assassin had stabbed the thrower instead, that would have been a successful stab, because he rolled an 8. That's why you want to stab armor value 7.
Tackle in action.
Okay, Thursday, please be careful. She wants to hang out and rest against my keyboard, which of course is not good, because she might press buttons I don't want her to press. Like, okay, well,
Just surrounding them.
yeah, but this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the storm vermin and this gutter runner are in scoring position, and this gutter runner's got sprint, so this gutter runner can probably actually dodge around if it wants to. I mean, this is also always the problem.
Oh.
What? No, you're still ahead of me. by quite a few seconds. Oh, and that's a badly hurt just to get that guy back, because remember two assists and the turnovers right now. So I'm at 58, 57, 56, 55.
There we go.
Okay. Let's see. Tackle on the assassin. Assassin goes down. That almost frees up the Storm Vermin. And of course, the Grant has an option now in that. Okay. In that it's turn 7. He might not want to score now. He might just go to put more pieces into scoring position. He has like 4 gotcha runners, and the Dark Elves can't really cover all of them, even if they wanted to. Especially now, well, they've got 1 man down.
Throw is completely safe in the backfield, so
yeah.
I'd just run almost everything.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, completely safe. Thursday, you need to chill out on your place on the desk, because otherwise you're going to have to get up to the desk. Okay, here we go. This is interesting. Tackle. Bringing down a blitzer.
He's just taking out the tackle piece.
Yeah. That's smart. I'm trying to see if he could have taken out more, and he probably could have if he dodged a gut runner out to put an extra piece where the down blitzer now is, because then he could have chain pushed. But of course, if he chain pushed and didn't manage to knock him down, then the tackle piece would still be on the 1 gut runner in scoring position right now. So slowly but surely moving some pieces up here. I need to do a count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so all of these Storm Vermins and this thrower here, well, the thrower's actually move busted. But currently the only players in scoring position is this lineman and this gut runner, and there aren't that many pieces left to move. So the Grant,
he has plenty of pieces to move.
Well, he's got 3.
That's more than enough.
I don't know. He's going to be... Well, we'll see. I mean, ASadPandas is going to be able to cover those. Well, that is a good place for that gut runner, number 7.
I would have assumed he would have moved a bit further up.
Well, he doesn't have to move further up is the thing. I mean, that's what's so scary about gut runners. They don't actually have to go that far.
But in case he wanted to run back first and then run up, it would be easier.
Yeah, but don't think that's going to happen. And there we go. Dodge. So good use of making sure... Well, nice making sure that the tackle piece is out. And then dodging away again. And just as a reminder, after the first 2 turns, we are... both teams still have a reroll left.
And they've been saving onto that reroll for this last turn.
Okay. Thursday, if you want to be cranky, okay. You don't want to be cranky. Okay, so let's see how. Okay, ooh. And that's...
But that guy has tackle.
Yeah, and that's just a push attacker down, reroll into push defender stumbles, and that's enough. And sidestep. Oh! That's a badly hurt, because the piece already has an niggling, and Apod straight away, so that the gut runner will be back on the next half. Now we'll see. So you got this gut runner here, has nothing. Then we have, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is that right? Yes, that's right. So this gut runner here in the back can also, if running straight forward, can score. But, oh, now he definitely can. That is a So that was a ballsy play. Like, this might be the... Oof, but that's a difficult dodge. No, it's... Well, yeah, it's just actually a slightly difficult dodge to do. But it should be doable. Oh, damn it. I'm knocking everything around here.
It's a slightly more difficult dodge now.
Yeah, clearing... trying to clear out the assassin with a storm vermin and then blitzing the witch elf away. Or just not blitzing the witch elf away. Could also be clearing something. No, this blitzer next to the gut runner to the left, number 7, has sidestep, so you can't actually clear that guy out. But he is going to try and tackle wrestle. That's a defender down, so that's a blitzer gone. Jespion asks why so many appos on badly hurt, and because it's the finals and both of them have 2 appos. If you appo someone that's badly hurt, or rather if you do an appo and then you pick badly hurt, then the player's not actually sent to the casualty box, but they're rather sent to the well, just
sideline.
Yeah, the reserves. So they'll be back the next drive, and since it's a final, you probably want to keep your really good players in normal like league or tournament play. It's probably more important to keep them around for the coming games, but in this case it's all or nothing. So yeah, it's gonna suck if some of the pieces die, of course, but it's not gonna but they're gonna be more useful on the pitch than off. Okay, so that's the assassin gone, which means, and that's the blitzer pushed both down. This is a block tackle piece, so you don't actually want to see him push, but a push does mean there's still a path with sides with a dodge, which is still better than nothing if the push comes diagonally up here. I think no, actually there's not, because there's an assassin hiding here above the storm vermin. Yeah, that's a reroll into both down. That's actually even worse. So, that's not good. I am sure ASadPandas is really pleased about that. But it's still, I mean, it's still dodgeable. It's a 3+, and then a 3+ into a 2+.
Does he dodge the gutter runner through to the end zone first?
Well, what he could do, if he wanted to be ballsy, is that he could... well, actually... let's see here. No, yeah, you pass first. And then, let's see if the Witch Elf rolls a 6. No, the Witch Elf didn't. And the Gutter Runner rolled a 3 or more. Roll a 4. So now, it's just a question of... Yeah, so the dodges. First one's fine. And then it's going to be a 3+. Oh, failed at 1. But he made it through! That's
how you do tension.
Yeah, like... Oh, I'm not even playing, but those kinds of plays where, like, if I roll a 1 now, it sucks and I'm kind of out of the game. But, yeah.
I wouldn't rule the Rats out even 2-0 down.
No, of course not, but it's definitely more difficult, and you kind of... Like, if you're down 2 getting into the second half, you have to rely on your opponent either being unlucky or missing something. Whereas if you're only down 1 touchdown, which is the case now, you're at least... The worst case is rather like, and you score. You're playing for the tie win. If you're down 2-0, then well, you're definitely only going to tie, and then it's going to be overtime, and we all know how horrible that is. But yeah, the classic 2-1 grind for the first half. And it'll be interesting to see how quickly the rats want to try and score.
I'd assume very quickly.
I would assume the same. I mean, the problem the rats are going to have is that they don't have a mechanic or a skill rather to steal the ball. Oh, who was that? That's yeah, you probably want that guy. But that means the rats are out of apples. They do have some extra pieces though, so they're never gonna not have 11 players. But yeah, well, I mean, if it was the opposite and the oh, well, here we go. The Dark Elves were down a touchdown or two. They at least have 2 pieces that have strip ball, and they have a lot of dodge, so they could in theory dodge in and try and get the ball even from someone that has leauge. The rats can't do that because they don't have those skills, and I'm not entirely... Well, they do have some tackle wrestle, so that's definitely going to help. But these guys do not have agility for. So it's slightly more difficult for the rats to steal the ball. But, I mean, it's still doable.
I don't like the position that tackle thrower is in. He's going to get blitzed. I think tackle is very important in this match.
Yeah, both of the tackle pieces on the Skaven side are on next to each other, which is of course slightly scary for them. It's also, let's see, have the Storm Vermins done anything in this game? Like actual good stuff? I don't think they have they?
They've tied up the assassin.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems with, or problems is the wrong word, but that kind of happens because the Dark Elves have so much dodge and block. The tackle pieces, which are that much more important, so you have to use your blitz or your important blocks with them. Oh, okay, that's a reroll that worked. It's good for him. Managed to move it back, so that should be safe. So you're just ending my thing here. Yeah, exactly. It means that the block guard Mighty Blow Storm Vermin and the block Mighty Blow piling on, they're going to be stuck doing blocks for people they're next to for the most part. Because, I mean, if you're going up against a leauge piece and you can use either a tackle wrestle or a block Mighty Blow, you're going to blitz with a tackle wrestle piece. Oh, well. Gutron is running through very aggressive here, which is, of course, kind of what we expected to see. And thanks for that. Oh, here we go. Oh, going for the blitz stab. I'm not, like... Well, it's a dodge wrestle piece, so... I guess it kind of makes sense. The Dark Elves are down 1 piece.
I think I would rather have done it with my block tackle blitzer.
Yeah, I think I would have done the same, actually. So both players have 10 pieces on the pitch, if my math is correct.
Even with the wrestle, if he's wrestling, he's down at least, and he can't run as far.
Yeah, more importantly, like, the gut runners are, of course, they're fast enough. This gut runner is probably fast enough to even score, to get into the end zone, even if he was wrestled. But having the piece be on the floor means that you can't do a handoff where you're at, so you actually have to do a longer pass or do a handoff and then pass, which is probably usually more risky. So just having the gut runners lie down is usually okay. Like, it's better than having them stand up, basically.
I'd even be tempted to foul him, just because I hate gutter runners so much.
Well, in this instance,
Not in the final, but no.
Well, yeah, and more importantly, I don't think ASadPanda has any piece that he can actually foul with. Remember, he has 3 linemen, and they all have they're all level 2 or 3. He has 1 blitzer that doesn't have any skill ups, but that's a blitzer, so he can't really foul with that. He could possibly foul with the assassin, but then of course it's the problem again that the assassin has leauge, and also he only has 11 players. Okay, clearing out the side here, so that we might actually see, because of this blitz, I'm going to assume that we'll see some kind of either handoff to this gutter runner. Oh, actually, no.
Handoff to the thrower.
Yeah, handoff to the thrower, and then... But then the question is, do you pass to where the gutter runner is right now, or do you have the gutter runner run down and then do a slightly longer pass?
You can throw to the end zone with the thrower. With the accurate in the pass, it's pretty guaranteed.
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so he's going to end up about where the gutter runner is currently if he's just running around with the thrower. And then pass, which is probably going to be a long pass, possibly. Which should be a -1, but he's got accurate. So it's a 4+, I think. Because he's agility 3 with a reroll. So that's 75% of the time. Oh! What's going on? The gutter runner's just running in place. Is that a failed dodge? Or... Oh, it's because of shadowing. That's why. That's why that's happening. Holy shit! That's a snake eye.
I guess he should have moved that lineman up to cover the
And a defender stumbles, defender down. Holy shit. Whoa. Okay. That... Oh. 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 Well, that was not a snake eye. And now the question, do you score straight up? Oh, yes, you do, apparently. Yeah, so the plan was to hand off to the thrower and then throw to the gutter runner in the end zone. Which was pretty likely to succeed, but then Nuffle decided against it. At least the Dark Elf is still staying out, but that's 3-0, which means...
It's 3-1.
Oh, right, it's 3-1. You're absolutely right. So, I mean... They're rats. In theory, they can score 2 touchdowns. Like, actually, not even in theory.
11, so.
Yeah. I'm hoping they score quickly because it's really fun to see a high-scoring final. Like, because it's a very different tactic from trying to grind down the other team.
They do have a man advantage, so they can possibly make a home.
Yep. No, and the rats have a bribe, so they could stomp on someone. And some people in chat want to know why he didn't blitz the assassin rather than the PC blitz, and I can't remember who was next now. But
I believe he had 2 players surrounding him, so he could only blitz one of the 2 off.
Yeah. And the assassin has leauge and doesn't have tackle, so this is actually, from just a dodging away standpoint, this is actually a nice piece to dodge away from. If you're a gutter runner and don't roll snake eyes, because the gutter runner, of course, has 3 more movements, and with shadowing, you roll against the other player's movement. So if you have a lot more movement than whoever has shadowing, you're very likely to be able to run away. And of course, it's the opposite is true. Wow, and that's a short pass. Okay, defender stumbles, defender down. Nothing happened. Makes look how sad I am. Oh, there is a sprint piece on the pitch, which means he has now movement of 12. And you can push him forward one. Is that enough? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah. Yep. It's happening. Here comes the one turner. Possibly. Do it. Do it. This is actually okay. Are they going to clear off this blitzer? They should. Or, well, they do have rerolls. I would probably block this blitzer. Yeah, defenders, both down, defender stumbles. That's at least a push away. Then we don't have to worry too much. Ooh. I really want to see this work now. But that's because I'm a sucker when it comes to one-turn touchdowns. Oh, yeah, so not want to make the same mistake of failing to pick that up again. I would have, if he's going to go for the one-turn touchdown here. It doesn't seem like it.
No, he's going for it.
Are you sure?
Oh.
Well, apparently you're ahead of me.
Again.
Yeah. I don't understand why he did that, because I was so sure he would pick it up with the gut runner.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was going to do as well.
Because then he'd have an extra piece next to the ball. But I do think that was the best play available. Because he needs to get that touchdown back really quickly. And it's going to be interesting to... Oh, here we go. What's this? This is the plus strength. Pushed attacker down, attacker down. That is a reroll if I ever saw one. Pushed both down, defender down. Oh, and decided not to go on the ball. Well, to be fair, that's probably... Like, I love going on the ball when I'm like, I don't have anyone in tackle. Maybe I'll get lucky and it'll scatter next to my dudes. But in this case, it's... The smart move is to not go on the ball, because it's more likely to scatter into a more favorable position for the Dark Elves. But that's unfortunate. I really want to see the one-turn touchdown from Skaven. Oh, that opens up some possibilities. That's a push, defender stumbles, and that's good enough. See, I think there's a guard piece here, so the Storm Vermin could go for this blitzer. Yeah, and then we have a tackle wrestle for the runner. But of course, oh, that's not good enough. Are we going to see a reroll? No. Of course, the runner does have dump off. So once the blitz is on the runner's probably most likely just going to pass it to someone else. So you might want to fill in the other parts of the cage here with some actual tackle zones. But we'll see what the plan is. Yeah, so adding some tackles. Oh, okay. Push, push. That's not good enough. Unfortunately, I think the good news is that the Dark Elves do not have that many pieces up here in the back. Because if we want to stay positive, it's still not impossible for the rats to tie this up. If they manage to steal the ball next turn, they could easily score, and then they have 3 turns to steal it again. It's possible, although not super duper likely. But if the Dark Elves manage to grab it and hold on to it for a bit, then the Rats are kind of boned.
I think that'll depend on what this assassin does next turn.
Mm-hmm.
If you can stab that lineman for free, you can switch over to the right-hand side.
Yep.
Especially with that gunner runner just going over there on the left. That's...
Yeah, there's a blitzer here. That even, like, ASadPanda doesn't even have to doesn't even have to actually score. All he has to do is waste turns at this point. Nope.
I doubt he's actually going to waste turns. I think he's just going to try and score.
Yeah, I would too, but I'm just saying that it's not necessary for him to actually score. Okay, so the unfortunate thing for the runner here is that he can't do the normal down dodge, diagonally down dodge, because there's a KO'd lineman there. Are we going to see a stab? No, we're going to see an attacker down, both down, and that's good enough. Whoa, well, of course, he's going to pick wrestle because the other dude's got block. And yeah, we'll probably see a well, it's going to be pass, right? No, it's going to be a handoff to the Witch Elf. And then the Witch Elf's going to run like the wind. And it's at this point, if you're the Grant, you're like, you're fed up with
living
Nuffle's shit. And you're like, oh! That's a failed GFI and a reroll. So Walrus is... oh, sorry, not Walrus. ASadPandas out of rerolls.
Well, the gutter runner with sprint can still reach, right?
I would assume so, because it's a gutter runner.
Still 2 die against. You get enough assists over there.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there.
Can dodge out the lineman, yeah.
There are possibilities to get over there. I think 1, 2, 3, 4.
Still
5,
pretty
6,
far.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I might have miscalculated that. Yeah, it's super far. And it's very unlikely to knock down the Witch Elf because it's a leauge Witch Elf. So
it's gotta go for it.
You need tackles, and if you're using the gutter runner, of course, then you need an assist or 2 POWs. But this lineman can possibly clear out this blitzer. Well, no. Why? Oh, if I don't know what's going on here. Defender down. Okay, so that's good enough. But the lineman is kind of... I don't know why the lineman decided to stand here, because it also blocked the path. If that was just a push, this thrower wouldn't have been free to move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's a G1 on the GFI reroll. Both down pushed. That is unfortunately not good enough. And now what he needs is the diving tackle gutter runner, but that gutter runner is... Where is that gutter runner? Somewhere. Is the gutter runner... Oh. Oh, there we go. Badly hurt blitzer. Which was then appoed. But yeah, so the diving tackle piece is out. And that's the piece the Grant really wanted right now. Oh, and here we go, 4-1.
Elves.
Very much so. Oh, and now the Dark Elf has a full team again. But yeah, that's unfortunate for the Rats. I don't feel like the Grant has played badly, quite the opposite, but he's been forced to, because of the good early start and the fireball, he's been forced to do quicker plays, which means you have to roll like 3 and 4 from time to time, and that's not always super likely. So we'll see. I mean, in theory, I think it's still possible to tie this up.
No.
No, he can.
No.
No, I think he can actually.
Definitely not.
Let's see. If it's his turn 15, then he. Yeah, he can. What he needs is he needs a riot to push the clock back 1, and then he needs to do a 1-turn touchdown, and then he needs then he needs to get a blitz on the Dark Elves kick, and once that's done, and then he steal the ball basically, and then he run down and score, and then he's got like 2 turns to do it again.
It's not going to happen.
No, of course it's not going to happen. I'm just saying, theoretically, it's still very possible.
Theoretically,
actually,
he can still win.
Yeah, I'm not, like, I don't want to say very possible because that's a blatant lie. Theoretically, mathematically, it's possible. It's just very unlikely. Oh, and of course, when it's too late, that's when you get the KOs and stuff. Because that's how Blood Bowl works. So I'm still hoping to see, like, here we go. Okay. Do the 1-turner. You can do it. You're gonna have to... Well, actually, it's a 3+2+. No! What the... Fuck you, Nuffle. That's... That was the easy dodge, too. I'm sorry. I mean, here I am complaining about Nuffle, but the fact ASadPanda has played a really good game. And I mean,
they've both played a good game.
Yeah, they have. Like, when I'm like, I always root for the underdog, and the underdog you can usually see who the underdog is at like turn 13, because at that point, like, well, this dude's probably lost, and I'm like, yes, have him get all the 6s. But yeah, that I think the Grant has tried for like 3 1-turn touchdowns, or at least 2, and he's failed both of them like really early. Not even on the GFIs. Much of the league can attest to the fact that I got a lot of nonsense to go my way to get to the final, so I can't even complain. It was a fun game, says the Grant in stream chat, and I guess that's true. Like, because usually, of course, when you've gotten to a final of a tournament or a longer league, there are a lot of games leading up to that, and if you want to go like, oh, lucker noob, or like me, of course, it's more than just one game that makes your team be in the final. And some of the games you played, you've been luckier than you deserve, and some of them you've been unluckier than you deserve. I mean, the plan is usually, or the idea is usually that it'll cancel out in the end. So yeah, I mean, it's the same for me. You usually forget about all the lucky stuff you've done in this in the previous game or early in the turns when you're having bad luck. But yeah, so now at this point, I don't think it's possible for the Grant to actually win. Because he only has one turn left.
Actually, theoretically, ASadPanda could disconnect.
True. That is true.
Then the Grant wins by default.
Yeah, ASadPanda could concede.
Yeah, could just open up the menu and just ban a match.
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically, he's not out of it. Yeah.
And since the Grant only has one turn left and he doesn't have anyone in scoring position, he's kind of boned. But hopefully we'll get to see another touchdown. Because why not? Hand off to the Witch Elf, run down, pass. Run in and score. I don't think ASadPanda, I mean, the Grant can't do anything right now.
Cry.
Well, I think he's already doing that, to be honest. But hey, you know what? We did get to see what we wanted, or at least what I wanted, which was a high-scoring final between two really fast teams.
I think we were pretty much guaranteed that at the start.
Yeah. Defender stumbles. Is that... No, that's not the tackle thrower.
I think tackle mighty blow on the storm vermin could have been...
I think what's going to happen here is that this aboard Walrus, the lineman here, up on the right side of the pitch. Oh, okay, we're doing that because he could have just blitzed the tackle wrestle lineman and then scored with the kill, the blitzer, but he didn't. Instead, he went for the annoyingly ballsy play. He might do a pass to a handoff, I guess. 1, 2, 3. No, he can't go pass to a handoff. Because then he doesn't have anything to use the blitz for. So, handoff to Witch Elf. Do a weird pass.
Pretty much. I'm expecting an interception.
Yeah, same.
That's why he's just moved to the outside.
One, 2, 3, 4.
Probably going to be a long bomb.
Yes, yes, it's going to be, I think.
No, no, he's not even doing it.
Oh, why?
Oh, he's going to just... Really? That seems... What? Oh. Okay.
Maybe he figured out that this was the easier play.
Maybe. I guess it wasn't that easier.
Oh! Ta! Suck it, ASadPanda! Oh, what a freaking game. Holy crap. So, congratulations to ASadPanda for winning the Moo Memorial Cup. Yes, Season 2, I think.
Maybe 1, maybe 2.
No, I think that we've had it before. I think it's, who knows. Shieldar has got the MVP apparently. And that guy. 5-step hop. Good. And that's that. See you later, YouTube.